Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajak Acharya Shtotara Shata Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Gaura Prīyamāṇaṁ Sarva Shastra Dipiyusha Sarva Vedaika Satvala Sarva Siddhantaratnadya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kalidvanto Ditaditya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Pathaya Prema Varshak Sharayate Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume Madeka Bandho Mad Sangin Mad Guru Man Mahadana Manastaraka Mad Bhagya Madananda Namostute Asadhu sadhu tadayi nati nicho chatakara hanamuncha kadachinmam premna hritkanta yospura. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 9, entitled Answers by Citing the Lord's Version, Text 19. Tam prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim tam prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā priyaḥ priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan tam prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan tam prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā priyam prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan. prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim. prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam. babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā. priyaḥ priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan. tam prīyamāṇam samupasthitam kavim. prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam. babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā. priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan. tam prīyamāṇam samupasthitam kavim. prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam. babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā. priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan. Ladies. prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim. prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam. babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā. priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan. Tam unto Lord Brahmā, prīyamāṇaṁ, worthy of being dear, samupasthitam, present before, kavim, the great scholar, prajā, living entities, visarge, in the matter of creation, nija, his own, śāsana, control, arhaṇam, just suitable, babhāṣe, addressed, īṣat, mild, smita, smiling, śociṣā, with enlightening, girā, words, priyaḥ, the beloved, priyam, the counterpart of love, prīta-manāḥ, being very much pleased, kare, by the hand, spṛśan, shaking. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings, to be controlled as he desired, and thus being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and, slightly smiling, addressed him thus. Purport. The creation of the material world is not blind or accidental. The living entities who are ever conditioned or nitya-baddha are thus given a chance for liberation under the guidance of his own representative, like Brahma. The Lord instructs Brahma in Vedic knowledge in order to diffuse this knowledge to the conditioned souls. The conditioned souls are forgetful souls in their relationship with the Lord, and thus the period of creation and the process of dissemination of Vedic knowledge are necessary activities of the Lord. Lord Brahma has a great responsibility in delivering the conditioned souls, and therefore he is very dear to the Lord. Brahma also does his duty very perfectly, not only by generating the living entities, but also by spreading his party for reclaiming the fallen souls. The party is called the Brahma Sampradaya, and any member of this party to date is naturally engaged in reclaiming the fallen souls back to Godhead, back home. The Lord is very much anxious to get back his parts and parcels, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita. No one is more dear than the one who takes the task of reclaiming the fallen souls back to Godhead. There are many renegades from the Brahma Sampradaya whose only business is to make man more forgetful of the Lord and thus entangle them more and more in material existence. Such persons are never dear to the Lord, and the Lord sends them deeper into the darkest region of matter, so that such envious demons may not be able to know the Supreme Lord. Anyone, however, preaching the mission of the Lord in the line of the Brahma Sampradaya is always dear to the Lord, and the Lord, being satisfied with such a preacher of the authorized bhakti cult, shakes hands with him in great satisfaction. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijagana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Salagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vikasa Swami Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Thank you very much for coming to the class. I humbly ask you for blessings so that I can say that I will speak in accordance to the Siddhanta and something that is inspiring for our devotional service. Okay, let me read this verse again. Tam prīyamāṇaṁ samupasthitam kavim prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam babhāṣa īṣat-smita-śociṣā girā priyaṁ prīta-manāḥ kare spṛśan. And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings, to be controlled as he desired. And thus being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and slightly smiling addressed him thus. So in the chapter 8 of the second canto, Parikshit Maharaj asked many questions to Shukadeva Goswami. As Prabhupada said, the questions and then answers to those questions form the philosophical basis of Srimad Bhagavatam. He asked, how is it that the living entity accepts a material body, although it's foreign to the pure soul, transcendental soul? Is it just accidental or there's some cause to it? He asked, what's the difference between the body of the Lord and the body of the ordinary living entities? So many questions he had about the planetary systems. What's the time between creation and dissolution? How much time does it take? What are the workings of the material modes? What are the activities of the great souls? What are the kinds of dharma? Ask about varnas and ashramas, and so on. So he besieged Shukadeva Goswami, please tell me everything I asked you, and even if I didn't ask you, you explain. I'm not exhausted at all. I'm not exhausted. Although I'm fasting, my death is coming, but I'm enlivened by the Krishna Katha, this enlivening Amrit nectar which is flowing out of your mouth. So he gave him reassurance. I'm fine, you speak. It's not that we have to finish, in 5 minutes, tell us briefly. No, take your time, explain everything, what I need to know. Of course, we have our situation is different. We have this service, there's another service, everything is connected to the Lord and to the service of the Lord. We don't want to disturb other services. Everything is important in Krishna service. So Shukadeva was naturally very, very pleased with those questions because it gave him the chance to speak more. And he immediately briefly mentioned that the science of the Supreme Personality of Godhead was given to Lord Brahmā when he was first born. Yeah. So and then he also prepared himself to answer to other questions. And then 9th chapter comes. Shukadeva Uvacha. So in the first 3 verses, he replies to the first question of Parikshit Maharaj. Why does the living entity takes on the material body? Is it accidental or is it there's some purpose to it? We hear that this connection with the material body is just as if it's a dream. It's not real. It's not substantial. We have to break the dream. We have to get out of this misconceptions of me and mine. So that's the first 3 verses, and then he comes to the subject matter which we are dealing with now as well. So he said that is in reply to the question, what's the difference between the body of the Lord and our bodies, ordinary living entities? So he said, Lord Brahmā had a darshan of the Lord. Had a darshan of the Lord because of his non-deceptive penance. Avyalika vrataha. He was non-deceptive. It was bhakti yoga. So, therefore he attained the darshan of the Lord. And so this is, then he explained about the vision that Lord Brahmā had. He explained how this happened. He explained that he heard Brahma when he was on the lotus, seated on the lotus of which is coming out of Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. He didn't know what to do. He knew that he had to create, but he had no clue how to do it. So then he heard this tapa, and he understood, because he's very intelligent, that this means, oh, I have to do austerity. He had faith that this is the divine voice. So Lord Brahmā did his penance very he pleased the Lord. That's why he appeared in front of him. So he showed not just himself. The Lord he showed him his personal abode. He showed his associates. He showed Sri Lakshmiji, his consort. He showed his energies. And he was sitting on the throne, being served by all these devotees around him. And Brahma was overwhelmed with ecstasy by seeing all this. He was, overwhelmed with joy, the halada. So he started crying. This is the verse which we were discussing yesterday. Manigopal Prabhu underlined that this is the purpose of Krishna consciousness, to cry for the Lord. Actually, that's true, because this is the symptom of prema. So, if we will be crying for the Lord, yes, very good. This kind of cry is good. This is a happy cry. Yeah. So, now, today's verse, we see with the eyes of the Lord. It's his perspective. So what did he see? He saw Lord Brahmā. Tam, that refers to Lord Brahmā. Prīyamāṇaṁ, worthy of being dear. And then samupasthitam, he was just there. Brahma is, who is he? He's kavi. He's, what do you say? Great scholar. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. He's Adikavi. He's the first scholar, first transcendentalist. And Krishna instructed him first. He gave the Vedic knowledge into his heart. That's the first verse of the Bhagavatam. Actually refers to this incident. And then prajā-visarge nija-śāsanārhaṇam. So he was arhaṇam means he was qualified to be guided by the Lord in the matter of creation. Prajā, what is it? Prajā-visarge, in the matter of creation of the living entities. Now, somebody may say, or object to the fact that the Lord is so close to Lord Brahmā, because Lord Brahmā, he's engaged in creating the material world, and the Lord is far above, is para-avastha, he has no connection with material world. So, to counteract this kind of mentality, then Shukadeva describes the great affection of the Lord for Lord Brahmā. It's not that there's no connection. So this is coming from Jiva Goswami. This, I'm not making it up. I couldn't. So he describes the affection of the Lord. Yeah. So Brahma is priyam, and Jiva Goswami says that means premavan. He has prema. He is filled with prema for the Lord. And the Lord is priyaḥ. Ordinarily we say he's dear, but here it is glossed as prema-vasha. Prema-vasha means he is controlled by prema of Lord Brahmā. This is the Lord. He is not controlled by anything. Jita. Ajita. Yeah, ajita. But prema, that he is controlled by. That's why Krishna is so difficult. He will not give prema so easily. Right? But, and also, there's more adjectives. Prīyamāṇaṁ, worthy of being dear, that refers to Lord Brahmā. And prīyamāṇaṁ and prīta-manāḥ, that the Lord, the Supreme Lord, he was delighted with Lord Brahmā. So this shows us his love, and also there are some signs of love. Yeah. He spoke with a radiant smile, mildly he was smiling. He said, he spoke to him, and he kare spṛśan, he touched or he shook hands with Lord Brahmā. Personal touch, when you touch a person, that is a sign of intimacy. You don't hug a person you don't know or you don't like. Sometimes, not often. Natural is to hug a person you like, who's dear to you. So that is, he shook hands with Lord Brahmā. So the Supreme Lord, although being very far above, he is controlled by the love of devotees. He has this vatsalya for devotees. He's delighted. He likes devotees. So Prabhupada speaks in the purport in this vein, you can say. Says the creation of the material world is not blind or accidental. It's not, it didn't happen just like that. It has very specific purpose. Yeah. It's to give a chance to the conditioned souls to come back to the normal state of living. Right? And Lord Brahmā does that. He creates the world. And not only that, he is the leader of the Brahma Sampradaya, which helps the Lord in reclaiming the fallen souls. So therefore, naturally, Krishna is very satisfied with him. Krishna's Prabhupada here paraphrases the verse from the Bhagavad Gita, or a series of verses at the end of the 18th chapter, where he says that nobody is more dear to me than the one who explains this great science of Bhakti Yoga to others, to devotees, to those who are non-envious. Such a person will surely come back to Godhead, come back to me. So, why is Krishna so eager to reclaim, to get the conditioned souls back to him? Yeah. It seems he's very eager, very pleased with Lord Brahmā. Prabhupada explains why that is so. That's Jivara Swarup Hai Krishna Nityadas. We are eternal servants of Krishna. That's the Swarup of Jiva. Krishna Ratatasta Shakti Veda Ved Prakash. So this is Jiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva. Sorry, Jiva Tattva is Tatasta Shakti. In between the material and spiritual energy. It's the Jiva himself is very minute, therefore he has to take shelter either of material energy or spiritual energy. And spiritual energy, that is the default choice, right? This is the right choice. That's how we are made. That's why it says that Jivara Swarup Hai Krishna Nityadas. Yeah. But we have the independence. We have the independence to choose either this way or that way. Srila Prabhupada, he quoted, the innumerable questions which are something like, but why Krishna made it like that? Why he had to know that I will choose the wrong thing. Why he didn't do it the way that I would do the right thing, In other words, it's him. It's not me. I'm innocent. I'm, innocent guy here. I fell for the wrong thing, but not my fault really. Why it's like that? Prabhupada quoted one short Bengali proverb that Dorte bente prem. So if we want this, that you cannot decide otherwise than to love Krishna, that's Dorte bente prem, which means, are there any Bengalis here? Does you understand this? Yes. Is this okay? What I said, Dorte bente prem. Dorte means you catch someone. Bente, then you tie him. Prem. You understand? Yeah. So you force someone to love you. You catch the person, you tie the person and say, love me. Prabhupada says, what is this? This is rape. This is not love. So we have a choice. That's why the love of the jiva for the Lord is glorified. This is not, it is the fold, but in a sense it's our choice. So it's to our, glory to, that we decide that way, the right way. So, but right now we are under the control of material energy, right? And there are consequences to that. Right? Why Krishna didn't make it like that I can, choose the wrong thing, but still it would be okay. Well, sorry, no negotiations here, We just cannot be the Lord, just cannot be the masters, everything should be serving us or cannot. And therefore, because we're in this foreign environment, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, at least these four foreign concepts, foreign are happening to us. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And therefore those who understand this to be wrong, this is the element of knowledge. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. This is the element of knowledge, to understand something is wrong here. Why do I have to die? At least for an ordinary living entity, human, who can think what is doing, at least the old age comes as a kind of a wake up. What is this? Why is this like, what's happening? Many just go into lamentation. Oh, and then I had this hip removed and this and that and so many things, that's the kata. What's the medical condition? Because something is wrong, definitely. And, and that one died, have you heard? And that one died, that one died. That's my conversations with a person I'm, in touch, not a devotee. And do you know that one died? Do you know that? That's material life. Slowly everybody is going in this way or that way. And this brings the frustration or into some feeling of renunciation. Yeah, there's something's wrong. Let's find what is it? What should be doing? But if we don't get a knowledge from the right source, then this doesn't last. It doesn't last because renunciation is boring, and it's constitutionally. If it doesn't bring the nectar of, that's why tapas of Lord Brahmā was done with the spirit of bhakti, and therefore it was nectarian. It brought good result, but just renunciation, austerity, very dry, very dry. No pain, no gross pain from matter, but just nothing. It's good, better than pain, but after some time it gets boring. So bhoga is next. So just remember when on my own I was thinking that there must be something wrong with this world, but I didn't know what, and I couldn't find any answers, so I thought, anyway, just live life. It's not so good, but what to do? I was observing those who were rebelling against the society, the order, and I saw they go into a bigger mess, go into drugs. It's most common nowadays, So you see they're in a mess. So just live life, normal life, At least now we'd say sattvic, I didn't know what is it, what we're supposed to be doing, and I was seeing the devotees here and there on the streets, having harinam sankirtan, being very enthusiastic, was attractive to some sense, but I was also afraid of that because they're like too alive and too much. You could see ready. They were scanning where's the people who were interested. So I would always just pass by. But luckily, the devotees were so merciful. They were doing that. So I guess I could get some agyata sukriti. So when I finally met devotees, like face to face, I was not even more afraid. So when I really got, my friend became a devotee, but he didn't know much. He couldn't really explain. I was just asking questions. He was not really a match. So he was eager to meet a real devotee, somebody from the temple. So that day came. We didn't plan for it, but just I met accidentally, so-called. And that devotee asked me, so do you believe in God? And I said, of course I believe in God. I was quite proud of that, I had my Christian background. I believe in God, yeah. Not that I knew what to do with that, but there's God, yes, must be. But then he asked me another question. So what is your conception of God? That I don't know what to say immediately. What's the conception of God? God is God, what? Then he forced me to think, so what do you think? What is he? Who is? his energy, like some superior energy. That was as much as like a person can do on its own. There's something there, who knows what, some energy, superior. And he told me, no, he's a person. He possesses all the energy. He's the source of all the energy. Oh, that came from above. That information came from above. So Krishna knows all that. We cannot figure it out, what's wrong in this material world, by our own endeavor. That's stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Maya Mukta Jivar Nahi Swata Krishna Gyan. On its own, the jiva, bewildered by Maya, cannot understand Krishna. Knowledge of Krishna will not appear just like that. Therefore, what is that? Jivara kripai koila Krishna ved Puran. Therefore, Krishna, being so merciful to the jivas, he created the Vedas, Puranas, Vedic literatures. So, and not only that, he didn't just create the scriptures. It's there. If you find that, you find. If not, no. Shastra Guru Atma Rupe Apanarajanam. So, in the form of Shastra, that's Vedic literature, Guru, he sends his spiritual acharyas in the world. It's like Brahma, he's the leader, he's the founder acharya of the Brahma Sampradaya. Guru and Atma. Atma refers to Paramatma. He's also in our heart, gives us directions. So in all these ways, he Apanarajanan, he makes us know about himself. What is that knowledge? Krishna Mura Prabhutrata Jivara Hoigyan. So Krishna is my master, he is my deliverer, he's my well-wisher. So this knowledge is inculcated by Krishna through Shastra, through Guru, through Paramatma. So Krishna, although being so far away, he is interested in us. He wants us back. Especially Krishna is behind Bhakti Yoga, Bhagavata Dharma. He is specially interested to give this knowledge to the ignorant living entities. It says in the Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Yevai Bhagavata Prokta Upaya Hyatmalabdaye Anjapum Samma Vidusham Vidhi Bhagavatam Hitam. That upaya means the means for self-realization. Atmalabda is given by the Lord himself. Bhagavata Prokta. And by these means, the Pumsama Vidusham, the ignorant living entities, humans, very easily, anja, they will know the Lord. They will know the Lord. That's self-realization. And Yanastaya Narorajan Napramadhyeta Karhichit. That those humans, living beings that take up this process of Bhagavad Dharma, they are never bewildered. So you may say, okay, never bewildered, but and then it says even more. This is kind of shocking. Dhavan nimilyavanetре. If one is running on this path with eyes closed, nimilyavanetre, netre closed, naskalena patedapi. those who are running like that, they do not trip, they do not fall. So it's an easy path. Why? Because you entrust yourself to Krishna. Right? You surrender to Krishna, and He is the Lord. He takes care. He takes care. Therefore, there's no fall, there's no tripping, no falling on this path. So one may say, but how does this tally with the reality? So many go away, so many, we have our difficulties in our own life as well. So it seems that this is, this statement is too optimistic. It's too optimistic. But as long as one is yanastaya, as long as one accepts this bhakti yoga, the principles Bhagavad Dharma, abides by that means surrender to the Lord, and Krishna takes care. But as soon as a doubt comes, something's wrong, and faith diminishes, then this is a different kind of mentality. Yeah? We allow ourselves to be moved again to the material realm. That famous verse, which is supposed to be the guide of devotees, Tatenu kampam susamikshamana bunjana evatma kritam vipakam hridvakpa purbir vidadan namaste jivitayo muktipade sadhaya bhak. So somebody who is surrendered to the Lord, so many adverse situations may come in his or her life, but the surrendered devotee, he sees that, anyway, this is my bad karma. I did so many bad things previously. I have to get something. So he tolerates that and expects mercy from the Lord. And one who does that with the mind, body, words, then such a person, he deserves. He becomes a rightful claim to the Lord. He attains the Lord, liberation, and attains the Lord. So that is the secret of this Bhagavad Dharma, that it's not, we have to remain on the path. Then it's easy, it's very easy. Then tesham sadata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddha yogam tam yena mamupayantite. So Krishna is assuring that those who are connected to me always worship me. I give the right understanding by which they can come to me, give them intelligence by which they can come to me. So we are protected. We are protected by the Lord. Krishna is protecting us. He is He's our Prabhu, He's our Trata. So, so those who are in such a mentality, who devotees with this understanding, they are the right preachers. They can instill that into others. We do preaching because we are ordered to, right? Your authority says. And Prabhupada said also, he was many times asked, why have you come here? Kind of a unpleasant question. In America, he was asked this question a lot. So why have you come here? Prabhupada said, because I was ordered by my Guru Maharaj. Guru what? The disciple said to explain, by his spiritual master. Oh, okay. An ordinary person cannot understand much. What does it mean? But okay, somebody told him to do that. His authority. So Prabhupada said, because I was ordered by my spiritual, and that was it. That's the reason. But that's not the only thing. Prabhupada has this Tikshava Karunika. He was this devotee who has all the good qualities of the Lord, and one of them is karunika, very, very compassionate. And therefore, when you see those who have no clue what's wrong in this material world, what they're doing wrong, you want to help, you want to preach. So that's the fuel that the preachers have, and they get so much. The preachers get so much from the Lord. Reciprocation. We see how Krishna is Lord Narayana, actually, technically here, is happy with Lord Brahmā, and Prabhupada assures us that Krishna is happy with all the preachers, and he felt that also. He felt it also with 40 rupees came to India, to America. No, he knew no one, and there was some tapasya, a year or so. I mean, it was difficult all the time, but then it just started to, things started to manifest. That is because Krishna was behind this. Krishna was behind this, and Prabhupada was the proper receptacle for such kind of mercy, and therefore he's so much glorified. So the preacher knows that he has so much faith in the devotional service that, as in Chaitanya Charitamrita described, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Ko Hai Surdiro Nishchai, Krishna Bhakti Koila Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. If a person is engaged in devotional service, he doesn't have to do anything else. All other works are finished. Nothing is necessary. Just do this. So that's the conviction of the preacher. And he does that himself and asks others to do that. And therefore there's so much reciprocation. I remember many years back when we just started coming to the temple, and there was devotees, book distributors were coming back to the temple on weekends. So it was known that you should come to the temple on Saturday evening program. There's a super nice kirtan enthusiastic and nice lectures by the Sankirtan devotees, because they are still, that's going on, surcharged with this Krishna Bhakti, and that's, coming out. So that's enthusiastic, that is catching. So we are attracted to that energy, bhakti, which is coming out. So therefore preaching is so pleasing to Krishna, so pleasing to Krishna. Yeah. Right. There's also warning here. Prabhupada says, is it 9 o'clock? There are many renegades in the Brahma Sampradaya. Who is a renegade? Renegade is someone, I wrote this down, person who forsakes his faith, party, cause, or allegiance and aligns himself with another. Wow. So there are many like that. So Krishna is not pleased with them and sends them to hell, as Prabhupada says. So we have to be careful. Not everyone who is wearing a tilak wears Vaishnava clothes or non-Vaishnava clothes, but introduces himself or herself as a devotee. Not necessarily a devotee, must maybe have some different program in the mind. So we have to be very thorough. We have to know Srila Prabhupada's books very well. We have to know Shastra. We have to know what is what. We have to be knowledgeable. And then it will be easy for the Lord to give us right direction, intelligence, to know this is genuine and this is not so good. I'm skipping that. So I just want to mention, as we are speaking about preachers, preaching, that there are preachers of different grades, big We see on Vyasasanas, they're inspiring so many devotees. Devotees take diksha from them, and they are, there's thousands of devotees. Big preachers. There are smaller in between, and all kind of greats. Krishna is happy with all of them. And just recently, it was 2 days back, it was like her Grace Shubhangi Mataji passed away. And you could see Prabhupada, disciple from Germany, dedicated her whole life to the service of Srila Prabhupada. And the last stage of life, she came here to Mayapur to depart her body here, depart from her body here. And she was active like anything. She was enthusiastic about preaching the holy names. She was engaging others into chanting of the holy names. She was distributing books herself. She was an intense person. You know what I'm talking about if you knew her. She was intense. She always had she knew how to engage you in the service of the Lord. She was intense. So I'm thinking of her. Maybe she was not like a world-class big preacher, but she was preacher. She was a preacher of this Krishna consciousness, and she gloriously departed in this Srila Mayapur. And who knows? Most probably Krishna is shaking hands with her, embracing her. So, or is somewhere just near there. Who knows? But she left her body here in the holy Dham. Mahaprabhu is extremely merciful. Nobody's more merciful. So I just ask for her blessings. I may also depart the world here in this, Mayapur, Shrita Mayapur, like her, with clear consciousness like she had. So anyway, thank you very much. I don't know if you are allowed to have some questions. If there are some, maybe. No questions, so no dilemma. Should we do it? Should we not do it? Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.